Good afternoon. I was looking for a quote that would sort of go with an awards ceremony, so there it is. As Jane mentioned, my name is Tom Hogan. I'm CEO of Information Today. We're the organizers of the KMWorld conference. I'm sort of the man behind the curtain, but I've got some amazing meeting planners and IT people here actually running things. We acquired KMWorld, the conference, the magazine, and the website 20 years ago in 1999. Think back to where you were 20 years ago. Were you in school? Were you in college? Or were you in a very different job than you're in today? For me, I have the same job as I had 20 years ago. On the other hand, back then, my knees were made of bone and cartilage, not titanium as they are today. And my hair was salt and pepper. Now the pepper is mostly all gone. As far as knowledge management is concerned, 20 years ago, KM was at the pinnacle of the hype cycle, but unfortunately not the pinnacle of the reality cycle. Happily for us, and I imagine for you as well, over the years, knowledge management weathered that transition from hype to reality and emerged as a vital management discipline and practice. The KMWorld Promise and Reality Awards honor two companies who made and are continuing to make that transition from hype to reality. First, the KMPromise Award. The search for a knowledge management solution is not an easy one. Many companies vow they offer the best technology to meet a client's needs, but finding the vendor that actually fulfills that promise can be challenging. The KMPromise Award is given to a company that implements and integrates knowledge management practices into business processes and works with clients to ensure they reach their goals. The award recipient provides innovative technology that breaks through the hype to help customers gain insights, collaborate, and compete in a mobile and global business environment. This year's KMPromise Award goes to Verint, a global provider of actionable intelligence solutions with a focus on customer engagement. Today, 10,000 plus organizations in more than 180 countries count on Verint solutions to make more informed, effective, and timely decisions. Verint Knowledge Management uses patented AI technology to create a more natural and effective way to connect people to knowledge. This cognitive approach is supporting a new generation of digital advisors to provide fast, accurate, and effective advice that helps ensure customer success. Here to accept the 2019 KMPromise Award on behalf of Verint is John Schmay, Chief KM Strategist of Verint.
Thank you very much. Verint's mission is to optimize the customer experience, wherever and however organizations interact with their customers, partners, or each other. Our suite of software tools helps support organizations optimize the quality of service within and across any support channel through state-of-the-art quality management tools, agent and self-service applications, and voice of the customer capabilities. Our mantra is simplify, modernize, automate. And it raises customer satisfaction and operational efficiency at the same time. That's the win-win of knowledge management, right? So knowledge management forms a central component of our vision as both the enabler and the outcome of intelligent service delivery. Our emerging AI and automation-infused knowledge tools are core to our strategy and our suite, driving knowledge to every touch point and contributing to organizational learning as a whole about what customers need. KM products in the past, I've been here part of that 20 years, most of it probably, have often worked in the past more like static warehouses of information and potential answers, rather than the human brain, which uses a richer context of inputs and probabilities to make intelligent decisions. We knew there had to be a better way to deliver intelligent KM. AI powers our solution to understand nuances in how people ask questions, what people mean, not what they type. It also anticipates what people want and predicts what they're about to ask even before they do, while facilitating learning based on what transpires. It's what our market needs, and we're thrilled to offer a solution that dramatically reduces the effort for support agents and self-service applications to better serve our customers' customers. We're pleased to have been able to drive and enable customer success with these new tools. Over 70 customers have implemented our KM Pro technology. We have 100% referenceability and success. Success in knowledge management still requires the time-honored best practices of thoughtful knowledge structuring and curation, an engaging user experience, actionable knowledge analytics, and commitment to continuous improvement. A central part of any success our customers have derives from how and how well they develop and evolve their KM practices. At the same time, the world of knowledge development and delivery is changing. Knowledge tools and interfaces are becoming more interactive, more personalized, intelligent, contextual, dynamic. All these emerging capabilities are challenging the paradigms and assumptions of knowledge management. Documents will no longer be the only unit of knowledge delivery. Anything from a tweet to a dynamically constructed content stream can be in play. Authoring now combines automation, artificial intelligence, cross-tool linking, and interactive content. And reporting can leverage intelligence and automation to help organizations sculpt knowledge toward the best possible outcomes quickly and intuitively. This means we need to continue to envision and evolve new ways to use what we've learned over the decades about KM to meet the ever-growing demand for knowledge as the critical enabler in business, in groups, and in people's lives. Verint is proud to accept the KMPromise Award as validation and encouragement that our mission to simplify, modernize, and automate knowledge management is helping move us and our industry colleagues toward a richer set of capabilities, ideas, and actions. I'm proud and excited about where our industry is heading. I've been in knowledge management since the late 1980s, and this is easily the most fluid, dynamic, and interesting time in KM since the internet showed up. I'd like to think we didn't win this award just because of technology. There's lots of great promising technologies among many of you in this room and in the conference this week. I'd also like to think we won due to our potential to evolve KM capabilities for our specific support and service customers and to deliver on our version of knowledge as a service. That, after all, is what we're all about in this great KM community. Thank you. Yeah, is there a picture? Yeah.
Got it. Thank you. That's for you. There's a box if you want to take it home.
I'll take it home.
Thank you. And now the KMReality Award. The KMReality Award recognizes an organization, I think of this as a user award, in which knowledge management is a positive reality, not just rhetoric. The award recipient has demonstrated leadership in the implementation of knowledge management practices and processes, realizing measurable business benefits. To be considered for the Reality Award, the knowledge management program must be in place for at least one year, must receive support from senior management, and must have defined metrics to evaluate the initiative and its impact on organizational goals. This year's KMReality Award goes to GE Healthcare. As a global medical technology company, GE Healthcare provides a broad portfolio of products and services used in the diagnosis, treatment, and monitoring of patients. In a highly regulated environment, the GE Healthcare call center services more than 400,000 calls annually, initiating maintenance and repair requests for equipment that is tightly monitored by the FDA. The call center handles 4 distinct lines of business and over 25 modalities of medical equipment, ranging from MRIs to patient monitoring systems. In an environment where efficiency and accuracy are a matter of life and death, the call center sought a better way to organize and retrieve work instructions. This was the driving force in the call center's implementation of the Lighthouse Knowledge Management System in partnership with T-Tech. Here to accept the 2019 KMReality Award is Burgoyne, also known as Berg Hughes, Senior Manager, Call Center Operations at GE Healthcare.
So GE Healthcare is a leading global manufacturer of medical equipment. We've got over 400,000 pieces of equipment installed worldwide. There are 3 patients imaged every second on a piece of GE equipment. Because of that, we're able to make a positive difference in patient outcomes across the globe. And the trust that medical providers put in us allows us to make a difference in the critical moments that matter in people's lives. And those moments that matter are at the core of who we are and what we do. We know that our equipment comes at critical points in everyone's life. It might be the first time a family sees their child on a GE ultrasound. It might be waiting to find out the fate of a beloved grandparent after an MRI. We understand that those moments that matter are why we exist. And our CARES call center plays such a critical role in all of that. They're the starting point. If equipment is down or needs to be repaired, if it needs maintenance, they're the ones who are taking that call and getting that maintenance taken care of. Without them, the equipment doesn't get repaired. If you think about the starting point of where we were in our journey, we didn't have a contact center or a call center that was underperforming. It was a high-performing organization to begin with. 400,000 calls a year, consistently meeting our service levels, meeting our QA goals. We had a 1.6% error rate on 400,000 calls. And when you consider the environment that he talked about that we're working in that's so complex, that's a good number. But 3 years ago, we said, we can do better, and we owe it to our customers and to their patients for us to do better. And I would say a lot of this impetus came from our executive team. People like Rob Riley and Jeff Scott on the executive team who had the leadership and the foresight to say there are ways that we can improve this. And I've heard so much this week about how important that executive leadership is and that support, and I can't thank them enough for what they did to put us on that path. And Lynn Westbrook, the director of our customer service centers, who was really the guiding light as we went through this because she kept us focused on that long goal. At the same time, we're having to maintain the day-to-day. So our goal was to take and move from good to exceptional. And for those of you who had to do that, you know how much harder it is to do that than to move from underperforming and just get to good. And that took a team effort to be able to accomplish it. The first thing was we had to go out and find the right strategic partners. You mentioned that T-Tech was one of the companies we worked with. We got to T-Tech after an RFP that considered 20 different companies. And we said, we don't just need somebody who can help us take phone calls. We need somebody who can help us elevate that customer experience. And Jim Zaya, who's been on that team from the very beginning and helped work with us, it was a long time ago that I was in high school. And I remember one Latin phrase from that. It was sine qua non, that without which there is nothing. And that's kind of what Jim has been to us, because he continues to come to us with ideas on how we can improve our service and that customer experience. The first thing they brought us, though, was KMS Lighthouse. And after looking at some of the implementations that they had done and what they had done, it was clear to us that this was the path we needed to go. Because we were in a center, GE is known for documenting everything, right? We've got a great QMS process in place. We had good document management in place. But if you're on the phone with a caller and they've got a patient on the table and an anesthesia machine is down, you don't need to go to a site and find a document and search through that to find the right answer. You need it in 3 clicks or less. And that's what KMS Lighthouse did for us. And that really reshaped the business. And I will say that, Doran from KMS Lighthouse, I don't think the guy sleeps. We can call him anytime, day or night, and he's there to help us. And Sagi from KMS Lighthouse, the CEO, he was asked this week, sum up the company in 3 words. I told him later, you can sum it up in 1 word. And that's easy. Because what they did for us is allowed us to take what was difficult and challenging in a complex environment and make it easy for the agents. And the end result to that, it's amazing for what we've been able to see. We used to take us 6 months to get an agent to proficiency from a quality standpoint and an efficiency standpoint. And we moved from 6 months down to 3 months. But the most critical metric that has really shown us how important this is we measure all of our errors. As we said, this is mission critical equipment. We have to know if we're making mistakes or not. We were at 1.6%, which was about 6,000 errors across 400,000 phone calls in a year. After the implementation of KMS Lighthouse, with the help from T-Tech, we have seen that steadily reduce. We're now down to 0.11% error rate for the CARES call center. Now think about this. This is human beings in an incredibly complex environment that are getting it right 99.9% of the time. What that means at the end of the day, 6,000 fewer errors, 6,000 more times a year that medical equipment gets fixed and it's up and running on time. And what that really means to us and what accepting this award means to us is it validates that we are making a difference in the moments that matter. We're doing it better than we did before, and thank you so much.